I see you. You have been putting in the hours, learning the content growth strategies, pushing yourself to be consistent even on your worst days. Maybe you've launched something, followed the steps, niche down, post content, get an offer up. But the truth is that it's not working out the way you thought it should be. I want to tell you something. You are still on the right path. The big thing is that you may not need more reach. You may just need a smarter fit model. So in this video, I'm going to rank the best and the worst creator business models to start, especially if you have a small audience. This video is going to be a part of my Build Your Brand series where I've spent thousands of hours analyzing thousands of creator businesses so you don't have to help overlooked creators become the magnetic power player brands that they are so that they can stop hunting and begging and selling out their soul. This is step 1, finding your best fit monetization model for you. Now, before we get into the best and worst creator business models, there's something we got to talk about. And that is the advice, tactics, and strategies that are often being shared are usually out of context because it highly depends on what stage of business you are in. So let's talk about the creator journey. For someone who's been on this journey, been doing the work, but haven't gotten the results that you want, most likely you are what I call the definitely dedicated, but feeling a little bit doomed type of creator. Most likely you have an audience somewhere in between 0 to 1,000 people, but these people are highly inconsistent, not really engaged, and it's quite frustrating. What not a lot of people want to admit is that truly building an organic audience actually takes deep skills. It's not something this plug and play template or this new script framework or this new hook format is going to give you. And the people who seem like they blew up overnight, you do not know their background. You don't know how long they've been in this game learning, iterating, building skills behind the scenes. So sometimes doubling down, working harder, and trying to shoot content out of your body is not going to work. We need to be kind of realistic with where we are at in business and find a strategic opening where we got leverage. So let's start with the things that you should not be selling or offering right now. The first is that you need to stop wasting your time on these low ticket digital products. The problem is two things. Number one, you just said so yourself. You do not have the traffic or the audience to back this up. I'm just going to quickly do some math for you. Let's say you're selling a $50 product. Maybe it's a Notion dashboard, workshop replay, a template, but your goal is that you want to make $5,000 a month. That means that you need to make 100 sales a month. Some of you may be like, well, that's doable, Sam. Okay, let's keep going with these numbers. Let's say your conversion rate, meaning the number of people who actually buy after visiting the sales page, is 3 to 5%. Which, by the way, I'm being very generous here because this is if you have an incredibly strong offer and an audience that is absolutely obsessed with you. But sometimes these conversion rates can get down to 1 to 2%. Then to hit those 100 sales, you need between 2,000 and 3,000 people to visit your sales page every single month. But there is something called audience conversion rate as well. To get those 2,000, 3,000 visitors a month, your content needs to reach between 20,000 to 65,000 eyeballs per month. So when people say just launch a low ticket strategy, it only works if you have the volume. Disclaimer, by the way, is I want to make sure that you know that I'm not saying you can never offer these things. If you want to eventually offer these things, don't worry, we will get you there. Now I know deep down, maybe this math is something you already know, but you've gotten sidetracked by these messages of this is the best scalable business model, easy to sell, quick to create, low ticket digital products. But I know what's keeping you stuck in this hamster wheel is the hope. The hope that you were one tactic, one algorithm hack strategy away from getting those 20 to 65,000 eyeballs on you. But that's why I initially opened up with that that building audiences is not as simple as what most people are pitching. It requires a lot of deep, soft skills. Now, for some of you guys in the back, you may be saying, well, there's a smarter way to do this. Usually people try to solve the math problem by trying to make something recurring, like a $10 to $20 membership or subscription where you can get that recurring revenue, or by increasing the price, turning a $50 product into a $500 product. And the logic behind this is that it puts less pressure on you needing to continuously get new eyeballs on you. Now, this could be sound logic. Let's see. When we take a look at the math, if we bump up the price to 500, yes, it does put less pressure on the traffic side. With membership and subscriptions, which has been all the rage recently, but let's talk about what really goes into creating a membership or subscription. Running a membership doesn't mean you just sell once, because you now need to keep people happy enough to stay. So while you're trying to fight the front end, which is trying to grow more traffic, you also need to defend on the back end, trying to limit churn, aka how many people are dropping out each month. And that is where creators with small audiences get really burnt out, because on the traffic side, they haven't really mastered how to get their content to consistently get new eyeballs on them. But on the retention side, they have to still create content and try to make the experience sticky so people don't leave. So what ends up happening is that because they didn't have a large audience to begin with, this is a lot of work for very few starting members. And so inevitably, there will be a crash and burn. Now again, this model is not a bad model. It works for a certain type of person. The power player influencer, someone who already has a huge audience. They have stabilized their system of being able to get new eyeballs on them because they have mastered their content strategy that gets people to get hooked onto them, so they can still play a game that has smaller conversion rates and still hit meaningful income numbers. A great example of this is Nara Smith. She's a food and lifestyle content creator within the rising trad wife movement. Some of you may have seen her aesthetic, slow living TikToks and reels going viral. At the time of this recording, she has 11.6 million followers on TikTok, 4.4 million followers on Instagram, and according to Favicon, she's gaining almost 600,000 new followers every month. She launched a digital membership called the Paper Pantry on Substack, and if we were to go and try and subscribe, we will see that it is about $4 to $5 a month. But let's take a look at the numbers real quick. We see that the conversion rate from her audience size to the newsletter is 0.32%. Now, we do not know how many people are actually paying for the newsletter because we see that there is a free version, and it's easy for me to just put my email in. Because the biggest problem is that not a lot of small creators see the reality of these conversion rates. But when you actually go down, you drill into the numbers, you really start to see, wow, just how much traffic you actually need. So that's why low ticket digital products, low ticket memberships and subscriptions are great for the power player influencers. The next person it could possibly be good for are who I call the up and comers. These are creators who haven't reached power player influencer status yet, but they have enough of a starting audience, people who are keyword engaged and are real hot fans, and they're starting to build real momentum of systematically getting new eyeballs on them. They're starting to crack that code for themselves. So a membership or subscription could be an easy, quick cash influx because they have a sizable audience who have demand. So that's the traffic problem. But the second problem that plagues all of the hybrid monetization models is that actually all of these are commoditized offerings. With creator businesses becoming more and more popular, there will be endless supplies of Notion dashboards, $10 a month meditation libraries, swipe files, recipe libraries, email marketing courses. And the thing is that they will always be seen as a commodity. What that means is that that these products feel interchangeable. Like someone could get the same thing from 10 different people. So it just starts to look like another product. It does not matter how good your dashboard is, how much heart and soul you've poured into it. It's like being a white t-shirt in a bin filled with 500 other white t-shirts. Maybe yours is softer. Maybe it has this special fit technology, but no one's gonna dig through the pile to find it. They just see white t-shirt. But you're probably wondering, Sam, they're still selling though. There's two ways to differentiate a commoditized digital offering. That is on price. You gotta sell it at the lowest possible price, but that's kind of hard to do with some people offering fantastic lead magnets for free. The second way is through brand leverage. The only time someone will pay attention to it is because it is associated with a brand that they trust and value. And that is why some brands like Hermès can charge $400 to $500 for a t-shirt. A lot of people think these companies are greedy. They're like, oh my gosh, you're literally making like $400 per t-shirt. No, that is not the case. In order for that company to charge those high prices, they had to invest so much time and resources to really build the brand that could command those types of prices. And so that is the cost of the t-shirt. The price is established by the brand optics. So as a customer, you are paying for the brand optics. Now, a lot of people think that putting together a high value brand is about getting a pretty logo, getting a fancy branding kit. But if it was that easy to sell $500 t-shirts, then everyone will be selling $500 t-shirts. The thing is, brand optics comes down to exposure and reputation built through time, visibility, and repetition. All of which comes down to volume, traffic, and huge audience. So even though a lot of people say Hermès is able to charge those high prices because they play that supply and demand game, what allows them to play that game is that they have successfully built brand optics due to the mass brand exposure that they already have. So let's recap why hybrid monetization strategies may be a bit questionable. You've probably been told to just launch a digital product, just sell a mini course, put together a membership. All of those offers, whether it's $20 or $200, still rely on volume. It requires audience reach, which, as we discussed, requires real soft skills, not a quick fix hack, and brand leverage. So if you're in stage 1, you don't really have either of these. So you're not broken. You're just following a strategy that does not make sense for where you're at right now. So you need a business model that doesn't rely on traffic and doesn't make you create offers that are easy to ignore like commodities. You need something that works with your current leverage. What is your current leverage, you ask? That leverage is you. People just want to get their problem solved. And they often buy offers where they feel more certainty that their problems are going to be solved. With a power player influencer, an up-and-comer, what they have is that they have social proof and brand leverage. It creates this aura that like, oh, I will get my problem solved. Because why else is everyone like going crazy about these people? But if you don't have that, you need to sell certainty in a different way. And you sell certainty when people feel that they can have access to you and it's a more personalized offering. Because now they can get personalized answers to what they believe are their unique situations. Like put yourself in people's shoes. Let's pretend you are in a tough spot. You've got a real problem. Do you want a self-paced course firing information at you? You don't even know if it applies to the specific nuances of your situation. You can't ask questions to get things clarified. You may not have accountability. Maybe this course can sell if you have the brand leverage to back it up, or the traffic that can handle a lower conversion rate. But if you don't see all that social proof that comes with the brand leverage, what else are you going to shop on? You want access to a real human being, someone that you've come to know, like, and trust, who will guide you personally through the process. So let's talk about some of these, what I call pure business monetization offerings. Let's go from the easiest to the hardest to sell. At the easiest level, it is one-to-one or done-for-you work. And within that, the first and most simplest one to sell is one-to-one calls, whether that be coaching calls or consulting calls. Why one-to-one one-off calls like a 60-minute call works is because the price point is still within mid-ticket, where it doesn't require people to have to check with their significant others or to really check their bank accounts. And it's not so high where it needs like a sales funnel or a sales call. And like what we mentioned, is not commoditized like a digital product or a course. Because it has access to you, it makes the offer more of a no-brainer. This increases the conversion rates, meaning you don't need as much traffic. Just to help get your creative juices flowing, here are some formats and examples. You can pause the screen to screenshot, but it can take many different forms: clarity calls, strategy calls. See, the thing is, a lot of people are just very confused. They're really deep in their problems. They have a lot of questions and they need clarity on their specific problems. The big thing is just ensuring that you chose the right offer that makes sense for your niche, for your audience, and for the content strategy that you've already built. Now, the next one is the done for you. This is going a little bit more higher price, but still retains that ease of selling. Why? Remember what we talked about before. People are shopping on certainty. If you're someone scaled up and you don't have high touch, people get certainty through the brand leverage that you've built and the social proof that you have. If you don't have that yet, then you need to create certainty through you. And sometimes, depending on the niche, that means offering a done-for-you service, because now people are certain the job will get done. Let's break down the math. Let's say you want to do $5,000 a month. If you're doing the one-to-one coaching or the done-for-you, at $500, you only need 10 clients. Even at a 5% conversion rate, that's 200 warm leads you only need, which means 2,000 impressions or 2,000 people seeing you if 10% of people click through. That's not really going viral, and it's very doable compared to if you're selling a $50 product. Well, yeah, you only need 100 sales, but because it's a more commoditized offering, it's probably going to convert at a 1% conversion rate, meaning you now need 10,000 leads and 100,000 impressions. See how that's a whole different business model. Now, the next level up is offering packages and retainers. This is when you can start increasing prices, which means even more that you do not need as many sales. It's a natural segue because once you start working one-on-one with people or you're doing done for you, you naturally start to spot patterns. And this allows you to start graduating up the ladder, offering packages for someone who needs ongoing support and multiple calls, or retainers. Depending on your niche, it could be something that is more routine in service, like video editing. The reason why you can go for packages and retainers is because as you start to build the skill sets and you see patterns and you start to get things more templatized and systematized, you can go after solving more deeper, complex problems. This is where you're going after a transformational problem, which usually is tied into higher ticket prices and usually means that yes, you can offer packages and retainers because it just makes sense. You're no longer offering these one-off sessions, you're offering a pathway, something people can move through with ongoing support. When you get to this point is when you can start transitioning into some of these more scalable offers. You can go into the high-ticket programs, or you can go back to the hybrid monetization strategies that we've discussed before. Because you have your process more refined, most likely you also have social proof. Now you're building more certainty for your process. And that's when you can start taking yourself out of the equation, because people will still shop on you because you've already now built that certainty. Now, if you're someone who's already offering this and you're just like, it's still not working, again, it could be number one, that the offer is wrong. We'll discuss more about it in future videos. But hey, if you do need personalized help, you can book a call with me. If you want help mapping out your high converting personalized offer, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at your actual skill sets, take a look at your audience, and then we're going to strategize what would be the best offer for you, and we'll get a quick and easy sales page set up that really builds that demand for that offer. Now, here's the kicker though. Let's say we've already got the best high converting offer we can possibly put together. The kicker is that your content is probably not doing its job. Because if you do not have traffic coming in and you do not have the brand leverage, then taking advice about how you need to keep posting content consistently, play the game as if you are an up-and-comer and power player influencer is just not going to work. The only thing that's going to make you appealing when your optics are not looking good is you and your mind. Which leads me to this next point, which it's going to be a bit tough. I'm going to be calling some people out. But you need to stop optimizing for quantity at the cost of quality. That means stop posting surface level content where you Googled how to mass produce content with ChatGPT AI and get regurgitated content, basic level content that other people are also getting from AI too. Or stop going to Canva, getting these content templates and just slapping some tips on. Like 3 tips for a healthy life. Drink more water, eat your avocados. Because you need to establish yourself as a thought leader. That is the only way to stand out. A power player influencer can say the most fluffiest thing on the planet, the most basic thing on the planet, and there would still be so many people going, wow, this is eye-opening. And it's because the power player has social leverage. Their brand optics are carrying the weight. So what you need to stop doing is stop binge watching videos on how to post 3 times a day with ChatGPT. Give me some content format so I can just quickly plug and chug and post. No. That is not going to work. Because if these plug and play templates are mass available, then everyone is using them. If you try to play that game, you're just going to end up like everyone else. You're going to drown in the noise. You need to rise above the noise. It is time for you to start stepping into your thought leader era. Create content that really shifts people's beliefs. You want people to walk away going, wow, I've never thought of it like that. Or, wow, I've never even heard of this before. Or, wow, I've never heard of it explained in this way before. That is how you get people to want to work with you. And that is how a small audience becomes super hot, wanting to work with you, and just high converting like mad dogs on your offer. There are the few people that I come across where they have less than 500 subscribers, but I watch their content and I go, damn, this person is the real deal. They most likely are going to blow up one day. Maybe they're not there right now, but I need to get them now when they haven't scaled yet. I need to work with them. If you're confused on what is thought leadership content, do not worry. This series is going to go into that. It's going to go into the right way to build thought leadership style content. What is the psychology behind it? What skills do you need to master to be able to actually put it together? So stay tuned for that.